You still getting signal from me?
Yes, I am.
All right.
It's very clear. So much better than um, when we tried doing this on Friday at the other end of the range.
And I'm glad. So
Being
my
much,
I have a device showing what the video transmitter is showing, and that's giving me some pixelation and blockiness. So I'm glad to hear it's coming through on your end.
yeah, it's coming through nice. I mean, I can see every single target, but man, you can really see how much rain that place has gotten. That's just
It's
crazy.
uncommon to see this much water on the ground at Cardinal.
Yeah. I think they've actually, I mean, for the amount of rain, I noticed yesterday at one point when I was watching the weather, it had rained for 9.5 continuous hours, and they had received over an inch of rain. So for the bays to actually, still be usable is is a plus.
So first up, we will have Patches Reader on this stage.
Patches reader, okie dokie.
I'll say it looks like now Patches is coming up to the line to make ready. So I think we'll be underway here very shortly. Now, stage two is, of course, a 3 shots per paper stage. So 31 rounds with 10 USPSA targets and 1 popper. I think already we're seeing a little bit of variety in stage plans compared to what we saw yesterday. As I recall, John Vlieger, did he pause in the middle there on the way back?
I do not recall.
Yeah. This, if we had a trailer full of production folks helping us out, they'd be on that right now. But sadly,
They
it's just the
would.
two of us. So yeah,
And
yeah.
we don't.
I I
Go
will say I
ahead.
don't think we saw as many people run back like that um, as we did before. So the number of people hanging out under the tent up there were substantially lower, I think, than the number of people who are on the squad list. So I need to peek around the corner. So actually, we've gone straight from Patches Reader to Chris Gelnet. So the
Oh wow.
Scugosas, Ryan Snyder, and Ron Wagner all apparently bowed out yesterday.
Who bowed out yesterday?
Both Scugosas, Ryan Snyder, and Ron Wagner. Again, assuming that Gelnet coming up here is indeed the next shooter, and it looks like he is because he's getting up there on the start marks.
Okay. This is going to be a
It is.
fast.
I mean, I think there are maybe like 5 or 6 people under the tent there, so it's going to go pretty quick.
Here we go. We'll update the screen. Chris Gelnet. Should have done that before. Didn't think about it. It's early.
Oh, looks like we're taking the bags off too, which is exciting. That speaks, I think, to at least a couple of hours of no rain, which is good for us.
It's good for the entire portion of that state. It's
Yes,
ridiculous.
I don't know. It's in spite of the 9 hours of rain yesterday, there's not a huge number of big puddles about. I guess it drains fairly well, despite being pretty flat.
So where were you asking if John? paused yesterday?
I was wondering if you paused in that window between the walls, just a few steps back from the start position on the right there.
He did.
Okay, yeah. So again, we saw a variation in plan already on the first run of the day here. Now, Chris Gelnet about to make ready and take his run here on stage two. Yeah, so we did see Chris fast, but perhaps a little bit sloppy on his first stage yesterday. Hopefully, he can put together a cleaner one on this. So an interesting approach there. Again, not getting into that position on the right, rather taking that target on the move up the left of the stage, the one again through the window, the gap in the walls rather on the right side of the stage.
Right.
That looks like Dan Heitzenritter, Mr. D2 Customs himself, on on the stage now. I believe there are still a couple of tickets left for the raffle gun that the match is putting together, or the match is rather raffling off. But $50 a ticket or so, 250 maximum number sold. I got a chance to pick it up and pull the trigger a couple of times in dry fire. It's a nice piece. I don't really know my 2011s very well, but I would be happy to shoot it if it were in my possession.
You seem to
Dan, of
do
course,
okay at PCSL Nationals with more than 8 rounds, too.
it's true. I still do all my plans in terms of eights because otherwise I get out of sorts. I can't keep track of targets with that many counting
Bullets.
to more than eight. Yeah, it's like this is an eight. I don't need to reload yet, but it's still an eight.
You feel like you're being irresponsible?
Yeah, yep. So an interesting thing about Dan. Well, I guess we've got a Dan Heisrader making ready now. We'll let him get his run in before I tell my Dan story.
Chris had a great run. He's currently 6th overall on this stage.
I definitely see the appeal of that plan. It takes a few stops out and gives you something to do while you're moving up on the left side of the stage. So I took the opposite direction around. I went forward first and then back, and eventually to the right bottom to finish up. And I thought it was good for me, I think, but doing it this way takes away a fairly awkward retreat where you've got a pause in the middle for the target that patches there on the left of the screen just pasted.
Oh, gotcha.
So my Dan Heitzenritter story is he was a title sponsor for last year's Area 8 match as well, and as part of that, I went up to his shop in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and did an interview with him. So as we were doing that, one of the things he did, he picked up a gun and racked the slide a couple of times. So they've got a very distinctive rhythm to them, like the D2 guns, which like if it's pointed out to you, it's pretty easy to hear. But even so, Dan was doing something at like loading magazines or something, and he heard like a gun racking just like at a safe table nearby, and it's like, hey, that's one of my guns. And he turns around and sees that it's Patch's reader, making red, like not making red, get like at the safe table, aggressively racking one of his guns to kind of warm up. So yeah, if you want a 2011 builder who knows his own stuff by sound alone, that's Dan's your guy.
That's pretty wild. I'm gonna start calling him Punxsutawney Dan.
Punxsutawney Dan. All right, we now have Ron Kiesel making ready.
Screen is updated. Ron Kiesel.
I'm not sure if it's coming through on the stream, but from back here, it's pretty easy on my little drone controller screen to see the bright flashes of the burning powder escaping the compensator on the way
Oh,
up out of Ron's gun.
oh, it's coming through. It's coming through.
So
I
I'm
was about to comment on that.
glad to be standing all the way back here on for this open squad with the loud guns.
That's a freaking flamethrower.
Absolutely. The I did notice at the beginning of that stage, Ron, he came off the start marks, took that inside paper, got the popper, and was already kind of backing out on that paper inside to the left. The last one he took through the port at the start position. That was a good little bit of stage execution.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron, of course, in open A. I think he came fairly close to, maybe not the win overall, but like last either Western Pennsylvania or Area 8 last year, he performed extremely well. So kind of
He
cool to see that
did.
continuing. All right, I believe
Is
up to the line
this
now we have Anthony Labriola.
okay? Good, because that's who I changed the screen to.
Well, the next person on the list would be Drew Maruski, and that's not Drew. So by the process of elimination, Anthony Labriola. A couple of things on that run. I mean, we saw him overrun his mark a little bit on the left side coming in on that far left uprange target. He did catch himself before he fired a shot. You saw his foot come out, then back in before the gun went off. And I think maybe a little bit flustered from that, he ran past that crossing target on the right side of the stage and had to lean back for it. Well, I think I've actually got enough battery to cover, I believe, this whole squad on one, which was not the case yesterday. It's definitely a place where they're dropping like flies, I think, as the saying goes. Or I suppose maybe they dropped like flies. I think the people here are likely to finish out today. The weather's a lot more pleasant than it was.
I think we lost Terrence as well. I don't know how to
Yes,
say his
I
last
don't.
name.
Yeah, unless I'm pretty sure Geraci, I believe he is. But I think we missed him as well. Yeah, because we went straight from Gelnet to Dan.
Yeah.
And now I believe, I'm not sure if I saw David McCrum, this might be Drew Maruski to close out Squad 304 on this stage. And if it is, maybe we just pop next door and watch him on stage 3, because I think I'm substantially ahead of schedule right now.
Well, McCrum would be after Drew.
Yeah. All right, Drew Maruski, about to go. Well, nope, still visualizing. Here he goes.
He
Pretty
did
good
some
run there,
nice
I would say.
movement.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice moving and shooting down that left side.
for sure. That's I think always been one of Drew's big strengths. Notably, I think he wasn't totally confident in his shot call on that uprange left target. You know, you saw he shot 4 at it, and there was a slight hesitation after that last one broke. Maybe making sure everything was good. But other than that, it's a small nit to pick on, but I think was actually a very good run. No, that looks like a squad out. Um,
Okay.
very quick one with. Let's see. Let's count him up real quick. So we had Patches, Gelnet, Heisenrudder, Kiesel, Labriola, and Maruski. We're down to a 6-man squad, I believe, from a start of 12.
Wow. Goodness. Yeah, that weather took a toll on people. And
Back to face
oh, there
cam
we
here
go.
for a bit while I land a drone. And I think my schedule says I'm with squad 308 for about 45 minutes, and we're only 20 minutes into the match. So I think that means I'm going to pack up for a moment and slide my car over next door, and we'll catch up with them again there. And I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. So we're back here. And this is how I'm just waiting for Drew's score to pop up here. Let me go back here. All right. So Chris Gelnet had a very nice run there to be sixth overall on the stage thus far. And these are the last squads coming through today. So he his time was 20.67. He was 29 alphas and 2 Charlies. So did very well for a 7.4 hit factor. Drew was second on this squad, shooting carry optics. Time of 21:14, so less than a second behind Chris, who's shooting open. And he had 26 alphas, 5 Charlies for a hit factor of 6.8590. So very good. Excellent. I am going to, so you just saw those. We're going to replay Mr. Vlieger. If you see, Chris was sixth on the stage. I believe John is fifth. So, oh, we can, later we'll do that. Hit refresh. Yeah, so John was fifth. John was actually about 3/4 of a second faster than Chris. Chris had better hits. Difference in points being 1.9 for the stage. So I am going to. We're going to remove that. Oh, I didn't want to add that back. So Jay, as he said, he's moving locations. I am now going to. Let me crop this down so that we're not getting all that extra screen nonsense we don't need. All right, so this was yesterday in the rain, and this is Mr. Vlieger on stage 2. Since you saw all those guys, let's go back and revisit yesterday and see what the stage difference was. Let me turn on some volume here.
Are you ready? Stand by. All right, so did I.
I do want to pause it right here. That's what Jay was talking about, where John paused coming back on the right side. Everybody else that just shot it from this left side over here as they're moving forward. So that was John's in comparison to what everybody else did yesterday. And we're back to Practice Score Competitor app, and Jay is almost ready to come back into. We don't have any footage for stage 3 to share, so
Yeah, I think that was one that we got. Well, actually, I took a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm on the air. I took a little bit of
you
footage of
are.
stage 3. Oh, okay. Well, I took a little bit of footage of stage 3 yesterday. I think on our Instagram, if you pop over there, you can see a couple of the Hillsdale College team members shooting there. That was stuff I was there early in the morning before I was scheduled for any live stuff, and the weather happened to be favorable at the time. So I put the drone up. I used that as kind of some framing material around the interviews we did with Hillsdale.
Okay, yeah, I did see the. Now that you say that, I remember the interview with Kayla Mullen. I believe that was the stage you showed, and then you talked to her afterward.
Yep. We also got Taylor Chen there, and I think I got Coach Burlew, Adam Burlew, the head coach of the Hillsdale program as well. I still have an interview to upload, one with John Beecher. I was talking to Burlew when John shot stage 3, so he and I talked on the way down to stage 4, and eventually I caught up with him with the camera on a stick for his run on stage 6, I believe.
Okay.
And of course, we
So
also
what?
have the footage. Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, we also have the footage from stage 11, I believe, when we were down there live with the Hillsdale team on the other range.
Yeah, we need. That goes back to we need a truck full of people to go back through the
Yep.
footage and pull that out.
Actually, overnight I downloaded the replays, I suppose, from our streaming thing, so I can eventually cut some stuff out and do a little bit of highlight action. But again, the time is of course the difficulty there. And after a day like yesterday, when the soaked to the bone, had to come back and get a nice hot shower in the hotel and take a little bit of R&R. And after all that, there wasn't a huge amount of time left for the editing tasks I wanted to get done. One of those things where I think my what's the word? My
What are your thoughts on those videos that I posted?
I think those were excellent. The thing I've got a little bit of a small remote controller issue. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, we're good. Little an unexpected message there on my screen, but I think we are good to go now. And I think I also see people clearing the stage. That might mean Gelnet is about to take his run here. So
All right, stage
let's.
3, correct?
Yes, we are now on stage 3. So I'm going to get this into the air and hit my little. And we should be on drone camera shortly.
All right, screen is updated. You have a little bit of zoom.
Oh yeah, get that framed in real nice.
Yeah, there we go. That's fantastic.
It's the joy of the the joy of the Mavic 2 zoom.
There
In
you
spite of being
go.
a little outdated by today's standards, and also a little bit short on battery life. I get about 20 minutes in the air at a time. The fact that I've got an optical zoom camera in the sky is just a really lovely makeup, I guess, for the fact that I'm working with slightly older equipment.
Right. Optical so much better than digital.
Hmm. Yeah, it is like one of those things where newer drones, of course, typically, or maybe not typically, but can have multiple cameras with multiple zoom levels, and one of Dave's is in that category. But the difficulty there is that sometimes that requires you to position the drone in a place you might not want to because you've only got two fixed things as opposed to infinite between, well, I guess 1 and 2 times roughly on this.
The You can tell the difference in the weather. I think the weather had a lot of effect on transmission and reception because so far every image is very clear on the screen. It's very easy to make stuff out. It's not like 4K clear, but I mean it's very clear, very easy to see what's going on. You can see all the targets, you can see the line of steel. Looks good.
Excellent. I watched the thing. I watched the some of the replays last night and was a little disappointed actually, even with what we got from the near bays when we had the drone in the air for those. But I suppose whatever it was is figured out, and we got some pretty good image quality going out now. I am also the first day we were doing this, I was a little remiss in not hitting the record button on the controller when people were doing runs. So my footage archive from day one's also a little bit sparse. But I'm gonna try to be better about that today as we tackle that. So we should have nice 4K archive copies that we can use to overlay with the audio we're getting off of the stream if we want to.
Yeah, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, definitely one of those things where we learn as we go. I suppose we're still in walkthrough action now. Keep an eye on our competitors. Oop. If we
Looks like they're about done.
pop over here, we see Jim Klugowitz there with the tablet, and I don't recognize the RO from this angle, but looks like we are about to get started now as Chris takes off his coat and goes for the hat.
I guess Mother Nature decided she was going to move in here in Virginia as well. It rained all night last night and this morning so far.
Yeah, I heard the same from my wife back in Pennsylvania that we had a very wet day.
Wow. Oh, that's wild.
It is interesting too. It didn't seem like the kind of storm that would roll through like it does, like this one did. You know, from west to east, it had a very sort of fixed feeling to it, a fixed nature.
Saw an interesting phenom. I keep seeing it. It's I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to have to cut this part of the video out of the feed and show you. It's pretty interesting. It's like it's refreshing, but it's the screen is refreshing in strips.
Yeah, I think I actually see that on my controller screen too. I wonder what the
Okay.
story is there. Yeah, just
Yeah.
something with the link from the drone down to the controller in some fashion.
Very interesting. It's
Yep.
fascinating. All right. So we have Chris up. Chris Gelnick, stage 3.
Yep. Let's see. After doing what I call pulling a Gelnet last weekend, winning Delmarva on staff day, we'll see how he does here on stage 3 to continue his efforts for a good finish here at the Buckeye Blast.
$19.80. That was a good year. Oh, must be
Yep,
going back to face
back to face
face
cam
cam.
for a moment. I'm going to see. Yep, I'm going to see if I'm going to see if maybe giving the controller a moment to like a moment without HDMI output helps maybe it cool down or something, and the maybe restores the quality of our stream a bit.
Well, the quality of the stream was still good.
Interesting. Well,
It
like,
was
we
just
still see the like that refreshing sort of feel. I think I'm not sure if that's the controller struggling to keep up with the demands of both video output and all the other drone control things it's doing, or if that's just maybe some little quirk of the radio frequency.
does it feel as cold as yesterday, Jay?
Oh no, not by a long shot.
Oh, okay.
Makes it worse. To say that I do, there are a couple of raindrops falling now. So now making ready, Dan Heitzritter, getting set for his run here on stage 3.
All right, we've got no video feed, Jay.
Oop. Oh, interesting.
We've got audio, no video. Ah, oh, well, we had him, and then we didn't. He's up and he's down. He's up and he's down.
Settings,
Yep,
camera.
settings. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, not sure what was up with that. Well, I
Yeah.
suppose we missed Dan's run. It sounded like he got all a steel no shoot. So
Oh no.
rather zero hits on the steel no shoot. That is to say.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
heard a bunch. I heard a bunch of dings, which is what you want, and no dongs, which is what you don't.
My luck, I would be a ding dong. Well, Chris is starting his day off well. He was sixth overall on stage 2, and he is second overall on stage 3.
Well, good on him. So, in
Well,
the
in
open
open.
scores last night, yeah, like I say, in the open scores last night, I saw that Colin. Well, I suppose either Colin Maxon had a really excellent day. Uh, I don't recall if he was shooting all day or if he was a Friday PM, Saturday morning competitor. But regardless, a very good day with respect to John Vlieger, or maybe John had a bit of an off day, one or the other. Uh, 97% I think is where he finished up, and that is really an excellent run facing off with John.
Who do we
Or an
have
excellent day
here?
facing off John. We've got Ron Kiesel now up and making ready.
All right, let me update the screen. There we go.
Ron again with the fireballs out the front of the gun. Um,
Whew.
one for one on
Goodness.
the steel. Good to see. And I will say that standing here in person, maybe 50 or 60 feet back from the rear fault line of the stage, you can feel the concussion of that gun in your chest.
Now, how does it feel in comparison to Chris's?
I think it's got a bit more of a thump to it, and I think Chris is probably louder.
Oh, okay. All right. Goodness, man, those open guns are crazy.
Yeah. A lot of pressure coming out through those compensators, and obviously getting forced in directions other than downrange to make them do the things that they're supposed to do.
All right. Who's that at
Should have
the
should
table
have
there?
Anthony Labriola now coming up.
Okay, so it is Anthony.
Yeah. Of course, as pasting finishes, the staff out there working hard to keep the shooting area clean, and I guess
Saw
that's
that.
there's Gelnet out there painting steel. Anthony Labriola steps up. A bit of a hiccup on stage 2 for him. We'll see if he cleans it up here on stage 3. And sadly, we did hear a dong there rather than a ding. Uh, that's one hit on the penalty steal.
Oof. So actually, Chris is second overall on this stage, not just in open, but overall. Ron is ninth
Yeah, even
overall on this stage.
I say even with even with the caliber of PCC shooter we have here, I think I'd probably still expect Leaguer to take the overall win, even with the conditions he was shooting in yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to a little bit of fuzziness on the drone controller for whatever reason.
Still comes through fine. I can see the. It's almost like it's updating line by line, like refreshing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it still comes through good, Jay. So every now and then I pop in over on the actual live stream on one of my other screens just to see how it
Hmm.
looks. And
How it's looking. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the bonus of being at home and having an Ethernet connection to
Yes, for sure.
a gigabyte of
That's,
upload and download speed.
if you want practical shooting live at your range, put in fiber. That's our that's our
Yeah,
recommendation.
yeah,
We've
it's
got
plenty
so
clear.
we've got Drew Maruski now making ready. Again, solid run. He went 1 for 1 on the steal, which I think is something you almost have to do on this stage.
We'll have to see how the. I didn't hear the time. Lately, I've been able to hear the time. I didn't hear the time on that one.
Mm. That's interesting. I've got a I have my broadcast headset on over my in-ear earplugs, and the headphones are closed back on this, so they provide a little bit of sound isolation on their own. I guess what we're seeing is here on.
What were we hearing or seeing?
You can hear. I suppose you can hear the times better than I can here on the stage.
Oh,
With my ear protection in, and you getting the benefit of the microphone,
yeah.
the unfiltered. Interesting. So I suppose I can't toggle back and forth quite as readily from drone to face as I would like. We've got Patch's reader now making ready as soon as the camera feed figures out what it wants to be doing. It's got quite a bit of confusion going on, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oop. There's my battery warnings. I'm going to turn
Yeah,
around,
your
so I'm
low
hopefully
battery
hiding that a
warning.
little bit from Patches. Yep.
There we go. I assume you're landing.
Yes, I will be. Well, Patches was also the final shooter on that squad, so that about I think
Wow.
wraps up our flying through the match really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only what, one,
8:52. That
two,
actually
three.
puts me
Go ahead.
as a that uh, stage 2 alone with squad 201 for that full duration of time. But thanks to the weather-induced withdraws, we ended up getting kind of a 2-for-1 deal there. We saw squad 304 on a pair of stages as opposed to just the one we had scheduled. We'll see if we can get some face cam on. There we go. Yeah, that wraps up my plans for this initial morning broadcast. I guess I'll get some batteries swapped onto chargers and see where we stand with Squad 308, which is my next stop. That's I think likely to be a poll cam and nearly live commentary stage as opposed to the fully live action we had here with
Now,
304.
that was 308, wasn't it?
But yeah, good stuff. And I am going to probably head back to the clubhouse now, and I will catch you in a little bit.
All right. We'll see you. There we go. And I'll update those scores in just a moment. So, yeah, that was squad 308. 304 is the PCC super squad, basically, with Mark Schulte, Anthony Zabonic, Riley Fox, Corey Shield, Corey Messersmith, who had seemed to be a fantastic day. Every video I started to edit, it's like, oh, look who's at the top of the list again. It's Corey Messersmith. So good job to him. Doing a good job. Alex Tex Kate was on that squad. He was one of the people that bowed out. Like Jay was just saying, there were 12 people that started on that squad. 6 of them bowed out yesterday. The weather was just so horrible. And you can see the remnants of it on the bays. So if you watched any of the video from yesterday, it's just terrible. Absolutely horrible. As a matter of fact, I can share Tanner Dongis's run from stage 6 yesterday during the height of all the madness. Let me just kind of crop this down so we get more video and less blank screen. There we go. All right. So this was yesterday. This is stage 6. This is Tanner Donges. And you can see just the weather is atrocious.
Are you ready? Stand by.
The magazine disappeared. Let's go back for a second. Look at, actually, let's just do, watch right here. He's got water going up the crack of his butt, splashing. Crazy. A lot of water. All right, let's finish watching.
Go, Tanner!
So you can see the weather yesterday was just absolutely atrocious. At least it's starting off a little bit better today. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. All right, I'm gonna update these scores and see where Patches ended up. There we go. I don't want to cover up the Excalibur ammunition logo. Let's see here. Oh wow, looky there. Patches actually is right now the leader, the high overall on that stage at the match. I do have combined selected, so it's everybody. With Chris being third, I know that means John would be Vlieger would be second. So, wow, good job to Patches. At a time of 1892, 21 alphas, 2 Charlies for a hit factor of 597.25. Excellent job on his part. I need to check and see what the schedule is. We may be yeah, so it looks like we're not going to be doing anything anymore until roughly 10 o'clock. So maybe another hour. So trying to figure out if I want to just keep the stream going and put the break sign up or just stop it. I think I'm going to stop it. Okay. So we will be back. We'll just see. So we'll be back at 10 o'clock. That's when our next scheduled one is. Let me just confirm. Got my schedule over here. Sunday. Yeah, we're due to go live from 10 to 11:15. Now, at 10 o'clock, when I start it back up, we'll be starting soon. That scene may be showing because they're not scheduled to actually go live until 10:15 on that stage. But I like to start the stream early in case, like today, you have smaller squads, they're moving through quicker, so they may get to the stage sooner. Hopefully, 15 minutes is enough time that we can catch them. So talk to Jay, see what's going on. And we'll have more score updates at that point as well. Because by then, like 308, which we just followed, they should have shot at least another stage, maybe two, who knows. And we'll have some more updates. Plus the PCC Super Squad, which is Squad 304. They will have shot a few as well. So we'll have some updated scores and standings. And we'll have more to talk about and more to show. So we will see you at 10 o'clock.